Last week here on Superstar Texas Wrestling, you saw Tim Brooks and Hollywood John Tatum become real palsy with John Mantell. This week, Brooks and Tatum have got these two guys, Steve Cox and the Super T, in this match right here coming up.
Well, here comes the other half of this duo. Two wrestlers in the ring, Steve Cox and Super T, and here comes Killer Tim Brooks. And right behind him, the entourage features the lovely ladies of Superstar Texas Wrestling, John Tatum. And we're all just about gathering here for this convention of two guys who know something we don't know about Cowboy John Mantell, and two young men who want to sort of seek and gain some revenge for it. But it's time to find out if they can do that as we go to the ring, Doyle.
Here's Chuck Fulton.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your fourth match of the evening. This is a tag team match. In the red corner, weighing in at 288 pounds, from New Orleans, Louisiana, Super T. And his partner, weighing in at 240 pounds, from Tulsa, Oklahoma, Steve Do It Cox. And in the blue corner, weighing in at 261 pounds, from Hollywood, California, Hollywood John Tatum. And his partner, weighing in at 265 pounds, from Waxahachie, Texas, the Waxahachie Roughhouser, Killer Tim Brooks. This match is 1 fall, 1 hour time limit. Your referee, Rick Manning.
Now, if you think back to last week when Brooks and Tatum took on Mantell and the Stinger, Kenny the Stinger, you'll recall that Mantell was never taxed in the bout, and we don't know if there was what he was doing, except he did not take part. We know in this bout, though, Doyle, that Steve Cox and Super T will be a pair, will be a partnership because they feel responsible.
And we'll see how they work together and see if they are as such a tag team as Tim Brooks and John Tatum are. If they can work together that well, get the quick tags, the in and out tags, they have a good chance of making it in this bout.
Well, it is difficult to come together in a week's time, which they have done, and put themselves into a team situation. They do, of course, know each other well, but that's the great thing about Tatum and Brooks. They are like a machine. They instinctively, and by knowing each other's moves, they can do it without even thinking about it again. And the other guys are going to have to work it out a little bit. But Tatum is very, very confident, sometimes overconfident. I don't think Cox will be, and I doubt that Super T. But here we go, as Tatum and Cox again. You see the strength of the boy from Tulsa. The boyish look on his face, kind of a Huckleberry Finn, kind of that wide open honesty that you can read without any question. And he is also unquestionably one of the super young stars of professional wrestling, Steve Cox.
Steve Cox is going to be tagging with Kenny the Stinger, who he was supposed to tonight, next week. That's November the 7th at 7:30. They'll be taking on Hollywood John Tatum and Killer Tim Brooks. And here's the key, Bill.
The key.
Johnny Mantell will be handcuffed to the ring post.
That seems to be a good spot for him now after his actions of last week.
Steve Casey takes on the Beast. Scott Casey takes on Brian Adias. We've got two more big matches on that card. November the 7th, that's this Tuesday night here at the Longhorn Ballroom.
And we have Steve right now wrapped around the head of John Tatum.
Tatum uses that hair.
Yeah, pulling it. Unfortunately, nobody uses Tatum's hair very much. Oh, good hook. Now, look at that turnaround by Steve Cox.
What a feel. Beautiful by Cox.
Oh, did he turn that around?
He's so exciting and so quick and powerful.
Yeah, Tatum gives you the appearance, because he's much taller, almost 3 or 4 inches taller than Cox, that he would have the advantage. But it is Cox who is built lower to the ground, has that center of gravity and that that quickness which you cannot teach. You have to have it. It just has to be there. Now let's see what Brooks can do as Tatum has bumper problems over there. His bumper got bruised.
Collar and elbow tie-up. Cox and Brooks. Now Brooks with the push off.
Brooks, who looks superbly conditioned and ready to go against anyone. He's always been eager to battle any comers. He doesn't care, young, old, middle, the greatest in the world, whatever. He's one of the greatest himself, so he just takes them on and battles and goes hard and has the way to do that right there. There was no way that could happen, but the referee's uncertain, and that puts a little uncertainty in his mind. Killer Tim Brooks. He would fit in almost any era of history. He kind of melds into the time, doesn't he? Whether the 1800s and the 1900s. In the year 2000, he'll always be a part of the time.
Brooks there with a handful of Cox's hair pulls him up against the ropes, and I'll bet he doesn't break clean this time. Forearm across the check now, and one across the neck. There's a sling. Brooks misses the clothesline. Cox comes back with a cross body. He's down. There's one, and Hollywood Tatum comes in and kicks Cox off the top.
And Tatum with that quick move in to protect his partner. They do that so instinctively. And as soon as Cox was underway, Tatum was on there. But that is the kind of move that can win a bout in a hurry. And would probably have it was one-on-one. Now Cox feeling each other out now. Set again. And a wrist barred in there. And Cox does this to try to break the circulation in the left arm of Killer Brooks. And they check each other's strength right now.
Well, if you can take that limb, put that left arm out of commission, you've gone a long way into beating your opponent right there.
Now the question is, was there hair? And the fans say yes, there was. And Tatum is high up on the side saying no way. But the fans know. And Tatum is furious. But I think that is feigned furiosity. Steve Cox, Killer Tim Brooks, and Super T has not been in action yet. It's been Cox all the way, and Cox takes a slap. Ooh, what a shot to the head, and Killer Brooks says, right on my ear. And he hears drums and ringing.
If you'd like to see Kenny the Stinger and Steve Cox tag team together tomorrow, they will be out at the 9 Acres Country and Western Club. That's tomorrow, November the 5th at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. The North American Wrestling Allegiance and Management present Wrestling in Colleyville, 9 Acres Country Western Club. 5 big matches on that card. Brian Adias, Scott Casey, Killer Brooks, Kenny the Stinger, and Steve Cox, the Beast, Cowboy Scott Casey, and much, much more. That's tomorrow at 4 at the 9 Acres Country and Western Club. We'll see you there.
That's quite a lineup, so be sure to be on hand as Brooks and Cox continue to go after it here. And Super T waits his moment. They are going to check it out now. Fingers wrapped, entwined, and the kick inside by Brooks, but it did not phase Cox much. Comes right back, and now here is Super T going to make his move inside in his zebra tights. And the big man from New Orleans is right after Killer Tim Brooks.
Yeah, chopping away on that head. Now putting those big, almost tree trunk-sized legs into the midsection, but Brooks has turned it around with a couple of elbows of his own. Calls for a boot from Tatum right into the face of Super T.
There's that timing. Now they have him doubled up, a double kick, and Tatum takes over. Just enough that both can get a few licks in before the count of the referee. Tatum trying to work it down, extends the arm, shoves out the shoulder, and Cox says, come on, gang, let's help my partner. He's in trouble right now. And Super T's in a bit of a problem. Killer Brooks watching the activity. Tatum in the corner. They're going to change again. They do. Boy, they're going to move this back and forth and keep each other fresh. Into the kidney of Super T. Watch Brooks right here. He does an uppercut that usually is very devastating. He can get inside enough. He's going to spin him this time off the ropes. Underneath. Look out, a hit, but down goes Brooks. Here comes Cox, though.
And Cox comes in on Brooks, but Tatum steps in there, too. And Cox taking him both arms.
having a brawl and having fun. Double headbutt. Oh, my goodness. Which one is the official one?
Well, wait a minute.
Oh, here's Mantell.
Johnny Mantell running down to the ring, slides in right by Super T and in on Cox. Mantell chopping away.
Everybody's involved now. Super T. Cox on the floor. Now it's 3-on-2. Super T staggering. Well, once again, the question, the puzzle is what happened to John Mantell? And here's the stinger.
Kenny the Stinger coming out to the ring, and Stinger, oh, what a right hand on Johnny Mantell! And another, and Mantell comes back with a shot of his own, and Tatum with a kick to the head.
And Stinger recuperating. A week ago, he got battered, and now it is Mantell and the Stinger. And let's see what happens on this one, the clothesline. So John Mantell has, well, I don't know, some people would say he lost it, had a change of personality, whatever it is. He is different than he was.
You get back to the ring, look at Mantell setting up Kenny the Stinger for a pile driver. And oh, look how long he's holding him up.
Ooh.
Whoa!
A deadly, deadly, dangerous move. And the referee tried to separate everybody over on the near side. Super T and Brooks are battling. Cox is on the floor, I think. Now he's coming up.
Oh, and look at Stinger. Stinger took another boot from Mantell there, but Hollywood John Tatum and Steve Cox are battling on the outside. Cox with a shiver, and another.
It's probably no consolation that the match has gone to Cox and Super T.
7 minutes and 25 seconds due to the outside interference of Johnny Mantell. Your winners, Steve Do-It Cox and Super T.
I can't believe Mantell again attacking Kenny the Stinger. We'll find out more when we talk to Mantell about it and see Steve Casey and Bullman Downs in action next on the SST.